And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show. And this is going to be episode 273. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, we have one topic for you guys for this episode of the MSK show, and it will be an article that Variety released earlier today when I was at work, and I thought it would make for a great discussion for this episode for the MSK show, because all of us have now seen Superman, the first installment in the DCU, as the movie has been doing fairly well at the worldwide box office so far. You know, James Gunn, being James Gunn, did something, and, you know, we'll talk about that actually on Friday when me and Lunchbox Warren have our show, and we should be having a guest on that episode coming up this Friday, and it should be Comics Dad, actually. But if not, we'll probably start a little bit later, not as late as last week's episode. But I want to try and knock out at least two topics this Friday coming up, because, you know, I always tell people this, though. I like James Gunn's movies. I have. I love the first Guardians movie. Guardians 2 a little bit weaker than the first one, but I still overall enjoyed it. You know, I really love the Suicide Squad. I think he directed one of the best movies in the DCEU. I think he really, got Suicide Squad down. He got the grittiness of it. He got the craziness of it. He got hey, none of you guys are safe here. You're all potentially have the chance of dying. You know, I love Peacemaker season 1. I even was thinking about it today at work, watching Peacemaker season 1, and I was like, damn, I remember watching that and loving it quite fondly. And this is something that I always
get. The whole dance routine.
Oh God, hey. The opening song of that was a banger. I did not get a chance to watch Creature Commandos yet, but I will end up watching that, you know, very, very soon. But, you know, this is something that I was kind of worried about when someone like him would get the keys to direct a movie like Superman, which is that, he would kind of change something, and then that most of the conversation surrounding the movie would be about this change to Clark's real dad, Jor-El, you know, and I hope that's not going to be the case. But as you guys know, it's the damn internet, and everyone's going to primarily focus on the change that James Gunn did. And, you know, I understand that people kind of want to do different things. I understand that, but it's always one of those things where, should you really change that? Because you know, when you change,
got cut in.
Yeah.
It's not really a change, though, man. There's 95 years of backstory in this. Anything you want to see has been done. There's been versions where he's not exactly a good guy. It's not exactly the same as this. It's just a slight twist. So I don't know, man. I don't think it should be the controversy that everyone's saying it is.
Well, and there's a reason why he did it too. I watched a couple interviews with him since the movie came out, and with that, this question's come up. And the thing that the whole thing around the story is that, you know, it's kind of hammering in. It's like you're choosing to be good. Superman is choosing and making choices to be a good person. And when he loses that image or that drive that he was using, which was his parents' message, he even said in there that, this was my whole meaning. When you take that away from him, then he starts questioning who he is, and this is about him finding out who he is through the story. I don't like the choice, but I understand more about why he did it. I think you could have done that without the whole, I think you could have done that and still have Lex fake the video. I don't. They made a point to hammer in that it was true, and I don't think they should have done that. I think they should have left it open.
Open interpretation, yeah.
To interpretation where later down the road you could flip on it. But he really hammered in that no, this is what Jor-El wants.
Yeah. And then people
and honestly, it'll open up for if Jor-El does return, he can be a villain like he was. In the
How could he not? It's Bradley Cooper. He's coming back. You can't keep Bradley Cooper away from this.
Yeah.
But it's not the first time Jor-El has been an enemy. It's not the first time that he's come back or whatever.
No.
And it's not the first time that Lex has talked about an invasion from Krypton. So like, I don't know, there's a bunch of similar plot lines that it seems like he kind of borrowed from. And then, man, this hits different with shows like The Boys, where you can see what a superhero could do if they weren't raised by the correct family. And then it puts so much more while still keeping that, it's the lessons he learned from his father. It's just, who is the father? It's the one who raised him. I don't know, man. I'm digging what they did with this one.
Yeah, it's also nurture over nature too. His adopted parents made him the man who he was, and at the end of the movie, when they said, "Would you like to see videos of your family?" It was the mom, Pa Kent. When in the start of it, it was Jor-El and his mother, his birth parents, but then it turned into his adopted parents, which was also part of it too. So it was executed well. It's just, I don't know if I personally like it, but at the same time, though, it wasn't enough to derail the movie. Like, it wasn't a Superman breaking Zod's neck moment where you're just all like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
Yeah, come on, pocket dimension.
It's just, it was just, it just makes Kryptonians a little bit more like Viltrumites, a little bit more barbaric.
Which is weird because
she's kind of weird because they're usually portrayed.
Not that weird.
Well, it's
the aforementioned Zod. Like, what Kryptonians do we know, and have they been good guys?
Specifically, Zod was typically from the Zod that I know. He's a bred warrior. Like, he's supposed to be like that.
It sets up Zod really well. Like, when Zod shows up, he's like, "No, I'm here to conquer and fuck." So it's going to be a different.
And that makes sense for him.
Yeah.
Like, he was a warrior and he got locked away in the Phantom Zone and he's probably gone mentally insane. Like, that would make sense for him. Like,
show Zod with a massive harem. Just
because typically for most average people, the Jor-El that you guys would normally see is the Jor-El and Laura that they foresee Krypton's destruction, and he's typically the guy that's like a lot more like forward thinking. He understands like why he would send Kal-El to Earth, and he thinks like, oh, he can change humanity and all that stuff. Like, that's why in the movie review, I specifically made sure to bring this up. Just because I don't like the change doesn't mean this kind of Jor-El has never existed. It's more like this is not like a popular version that people like of the character. That's what I'm bringing up, right? Because even I don't really care for that kind of version of the character because, because in the movie, slightly a little contradictory, just a little bit, because in the movie, he made sure to say this. I remember I just watched it. I remember he said this, that first part of the message that he heard, he made sure to hone that in his entire life. He was like, whatever that first part of the message it was said, he's like, this is the only part of my parents that I have, and it's always kind of kept me going forward. So that message meant something to him, that they were, telling him that, and then the second part is like, okay, well, shit. Well, should he like not like his parents now based on what they told him? Because he believed the first part of it. It's just an odd choice. And this choice is the thing that people are going to talk about this movie forever. Basically, Superman's dad told him to come to Earth and just basically fuck bitches and get rich. Like, damn, like, fuck.
It was very Conan.
There's other great things in the movie that are really good. And that's fucking James Gunn. Jesus Christ.
Kal-El?
He just couldn't help himself. Fucking James, man. Godly, dude. I mean,
but it doesn't break the movie, though. Like, the movie was still great. It was one of those small things, but it doesn't change. It's the portrayal of Superman was so good, and it just reinforced on how good of a person he was. Like, he was unrealistically kind in some areas. Like Lois said, it's like you'd love and trust everyone that you meet, and he cherished all of life and humanity. So yeah, it was. That shined real well through, and it's a real small thing that can be backed up with comic books, and also too could lead to future storylines. I mean, how does Supergirl feel about this? Was that just a Jor-El thing, or is this a common Kryptonian thought process where it's like
Smallville? You guys will watch Smallville. Remember, like early on, Jor-El, Clark was scared to go visit Jor-El in Smallville. The early seasons, they had retcon that he became more of the Jor-El that we all know, typically speaking. And then remember in season 7, it was revealed that like Kara's dad was trying to bang his brother's sister. Like it was her dad trying to basically do all that shit. I mean, to be fair, in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, they could straight up easily fix this. But given that we've watched the same videos from James Gunn, I watched the same one, doesn't look like they're going to do that. I mean, I would hope they do that. I would hope they do it. Does it look like they are? Probably not. It seems like they like that decision. Now, keep in mind.
Wait. What do you mean by fix it? What do you mean fix this with Supergirl?
They could reveal that, hey, maybe that message that he had heard was altered by another Kryptonian, maybe her father. It could be.
The storyline they're doing is so dark. It is exactly that. They are that planet, and then she goes through the destruction multiple times. There's a reason why she's a mess. She is traumatized.
Of course, she's a girl.
So,
they're always messes.
I don't think they're changing that those guys are suddenly the good guys again. But you have to keep in mind, like, she was a teen, so she lived through all this shit. So it's going to be dark. You're going to find out why she has a drinking problem.
Yeah, and it's one of those things with the movie where I was thinking about it more today when I was at work, and I was like, damn, I love the scene where he was fighting that monster in the middle part of the city, and he didn't let the people get hurt, even for a second. Even a little squirrel he was saving, he didn't let the windows and the skyscrapers break. You know, he had that nice moment with like, I think Lois taught him something valuable in the movie too, that people called woke, which was, you know, he had said that basically he was interviewing himself. And keep in mind, you can't do that as a journalist because literally that compromises journalistic integrity. And she was like, you can't do that. It's just, that should be known. But he didn't see it that way because he thought he was doing the right thing. And I like when you have characters that talk to characters like that and you actually have dynamics like that, because keep in mind, later on in the movie, he didn't do that. He didn't interview himself. He didn't want to do that anymore. I thought that was a nice progression thing, because he shouldn't be interviewing himself. That's not what his, keep in mind, that compromises his job, essentially, if they found out, which, keep in mind, Lois knew that too, and she didn't have him do that anymore. Rachel Brosnahan was really attractive. I'll say that. God damn. Good Lord.
That scene was a great way to get a lot of philosophy in the film kind of out of the way without having to spend time showing it. Like there was a lot of, it's like, okay, so it was one of those scenes where it's like, okay, if Superman went over to a Middle East, it just stopped an invading army. You know, there's a lot of implications to that. And with Superman, it also helped reinforce his character, where he's just like, he saw nothing wrong with what he stopped.
Yeah, it just kind of reinforces his belief that
it's like, stop people from dying. Why is everyone upset? You know, like there should be. Well, why do I have to go talk to the president to do this?
And keep in mind, he shouldn't. I always say this too. You shouldn't. You're fucking Superman. Let's be honest here. Not you guys. What are you gonna do to him? You can't do anything to him. Literally, he's not like that. I understand, but no one's gonna do anything to him. He's fucking Superman. It's so funny in these movies that random humans think they could battle these guys. It's like, no, you guys aren't taking down Iron Man or Hulk or Thor. You're not doing that. That's why I like Civil War too, because it poses these questions like, should they be allowed to just do that? But then again, that's why I like movies that bring up these conversations, because it allows you to have more deeper, forward-thinking conversations about these things.
It is the beauty of Superman, though, is that Superman is a god. But yet, the way he presents himself, even us mortals feel like we can control or can, he's very approachable. And that's kind of the way David played Superman was a very approachable, kind, like I feel like I could walk up and talk to him, no problem, kind of superhero. And it was... and that's the thing about Superman, is because Superman really is like, if he wanted to, like that scene where Homelander in The Boys was talking about was like, okay, I'll play your game. How about I go just take out the White House? How about I go just take out the power grid of New York? I could do it in like a split second. It's like, if Superman wanted to, he could have this whole planet on its knees within an hour. And with all of that power, he still chooses to be one of us, and also essentially to live as one of us. And it's part of the beauty of his character. And James Gunn really understood that a lot more than what Zack Snyder did.
I will also give Zack Snyder this. He had a better Jor-El in his movie. I'm fair to say that. I think his Jor-El was a little bit better with Russell Crowe. But then again, you got like one thing right and 1,000 things wrong. It's like, fuck, I guess. Well,
I don't know. This Jor-El's kind of friggin' metal. Like, he's just like,
yeah, dude.
He's like,
don't count Bradley Cooper out.
Like, you're going to be so much better than boy.
And just wait until you see Supergirl, you just might see the past. I'm guessing it's
Oh,
gonna,
we'll be seeing a lot of her
show the
past.
world,
Oh,
and you might
yeah.
be seeing Cooper in action. But I
Oh,
think you might put Crow to shame. We'll see. You might be eating some Crow there, sir.
oh God. It's one of those things where Snyder fans were talking about, but adjusted for inflation, Man of Steel did better. And then someone brought up, well, did adjusted for inflation work for the Rotten Tomato score? Holy, okay.
I can
Okay.
just see
Okay.
Kara's in this Kryptonian Jor-El's living room, and the mother is in the kitchen, and Jor-El's chiding Kara, just like, now listen, when you go to Earth, you need to breed. You need to conquer, and you need to breed. Ew, Uncle, stop! I don't want to hear this right now. And she's like listening to Kryptonian music.
Can you guys
on
help me out with this?
headphones.
So, with female Kryptonians, when they would come to Earth, could they give natural birth? Because I know Clark can, because obviously, sperm and everything. But would that work for Kara? I don't know. It's always kind of randomly changed throughout the years. Like,
Well, there is a question: can the sperm break the barrier of the egg, or will her eggs be? You're
Yeah,
getting
because
some
they
weird
changed. Yeah, because they've changed
meta-science this
Superman.
way.
Yeah, because they changed the fucking from Krypton to Earth origin, like natural birth, embryo, and all that shit. Like that's what I tell people too. You get so many of these people that are like, no, what happened in this in the comics? It's like, dude, what are you referring to? Because I don't know what people are referring to. When they say in comics, what are you referring to? Like what writer, what run, what age? It could be anything. Because Superman is almost damn near 90 years old. Holy fucking shit.
Because Snyder's Superman was a way more stronger than what a gun Superman is.
Yeah,
Even though gun
way
Superman
stronger. Yeah.
was not 100% at all during that entire movie.
But James
It was
got to
around
mention that too.
80% or
He said
less.
he didn't initially. I think from what I remember him, I read this interview he did where he's talking about the strength of Superman. He didn't want this like super mega overpowered Superman because he felt like it would kind of end the movie in like no
Well,
time.
I don't mind a lower powered Superman because it just helps make easier in more interesting stories. There's more stakes. Like some Superman just gets.
You got to see him at his lowest.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guys like your steaks? Well done, medium rare. I like my steaks well done, but
medium rare.
No, obviously it's a cultural thing. No, medium rare, man.
Oh my God, no. You guys love your red wings, don't you? God damn it, son of a bitch. That's funny, Laps. I literally saw Jurassic World and Superman the same day, but at a regular cinema. Yeah, we watched Jurassic World Rebirth here. Warren didn't. I know me and Gray did, but we all did watch Superman as well. And I'm happy with the movie. Like I was thinking, because how you watch like movies like this, and you're kind of like, in the moment it gets released, and your emotions could be one way, and then you get time to think about it. I think in about 6 months, when I think about the movie again, and maybe I'll rewatch it at some point, hopefully it sticks the same. But right now, the more I remember watching, I was like, damn, like this Superman, I remember, made me smile a lot throughout the movie. And I remember not having that feeling when Man of Steel came out. And people are not always trying to rag on Zack Snyder, but it's Superman. It's character I love.
Talk about the Jimmy Olsen parts. Made you smile.
Definitely not. That his girl for the streets, dude. Fuck that girl. That girl's a whore. But like the parts he had where he was talking to Lois, those were always really good. The endings. I'm a sucker for that ending scene where they got together and they flew up in the sky and they like kissed. I'm a bastard for that one. Oh, what else? There's so many things. Mr. Terrific, good. I mean, there wasn't that much screen time with Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl. Or do you say Green Lantern and Hawk Girl? And we said that in our trailer reaction. I know we did for the second time when we and Warren did the official trailer reaction. I know we had said like they're probably not going to get that much screen time, but they weren't like. I'll say this to be fair. I kind of, if we're being honest here, if they weren't there, you wouldn't have really noticed or cared because only Mr. Terrific really stole the show.
That is not true, man. Hot Girl, come on, man. She's the heart of the film.
That's because
Isabella Merced, man. I'm just saying, she's been in everything from Alien Romulus.
Plot. Definitely.
Yeah, to The Last of Us. What can I say? She's got a hot career right now, but she shows you the difference. I guess they all do. You see the T-spheres take out the giant creature, but you also get to see how willing Hawk Girl is to do what seems unthinkable to Superman. They really work as juxtaposition, and man, they're awesome supporting characters. That's where like not all the humor, but a good portion of the humor comes from that team. It's awesome. It allows a different tone, that we're not just getting that Superman thing. To me, I dig it. I think they had the right amount of screen time.
I was laughing out loud when remember when they did the promo picture where it was Superman putting his boot on and there was that big glowing orb in the
That
sky.
was real. It turned out that was real.
I thought that was like an important plot point of the movie, but then to turn out that was just a joke, that as he's having this serious conversation with Lois, you see like Guy Gardner using a baseball bat and smacking it on the head, and they're just like, dude, oh yeah, they can handle that.
You had people that were like, well, why didn't he go help them? He was like, they can guys, in comic books, if it's been base knowledge, in Superman comic books, he can handle his own shit, and in Batman comic books, he can handle his own shit. I'm pretty sure Hawkgirl and Green Lantern can handle that thing. Pretty sure it didn't really need his immediate attention, obviously. It's like, also at that point in the movie, didn't he just, also at that point in the movie, did he just figure out his dad kind of wasn't the guy that he thought he was? It's like a mentally breaking thing for a character to go through. Probably not going to be interested in taking on an alien your other pals can take on. It's not, it wasn't that serious. Okay, come on. Crazy. What else was there? Oh, I needed them to have sex. Why did they bang each other?
Wait, didn't they?
I mean,
because it's a PG.
It was a tough week.
All ages.
Like, it's a PG-13 movie.
Well, yeah, you're trying to get all ages. You don't want to show Superman banging Lois.
Why not?
It's R.
No, in PBS,
rated R movie then.
In PBS, Amy Adams in like the second scene of the movie was like half naked in a tub.
Well, this is not BBS.
Why can't I ever get the things that I want in life? Like, god damn. Fucking hell, dude. It's okay. It's all right. The moment where, Mr. Terrific was battling those guys to say, protecting Lois with his shield. That was very good. I still love Nicholas Holt's performance as Lex Luthor. I thought he just knocked that out of the park, honestly.
I loved Superman's parents.
Yeah, I love that actor.
The adopted parents, right?
Yeah.
The adopted ones? Yeah. Okay.
He's been in so many things, but man, they nailed that accent. That it just instantly kind of gives him a feel.
And I also like too, like they were just two normal parents. Like they felt really like real farmer type rural parents. And not everyone needs to be like this well played, Shakespearean role, intellectual. It's like, no, these are just two really down to earth, normal people. They were given a godchild and raised it to be a really good person. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I really like that. I'm glad they didn't go with like some seasoned hardcore actor and turn it into like a real thing. No, these are just real.
They kind of did. That dude has been in so many amazing flicks.
Well, I meant
fair
like
enough. He's a character actor.
Kevin Costner, like they didn't go milk it, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it is no Costner, but which sucks because I love Costner, but man, that was a really bad choice.
It was a real subtle performance by the parents, and I really liked that.
Well, see, that's the thing that does kind of work with the change. It's like the only thing that can work with it is it predicated on the fact that you had that scene when that war was about to kick off, and then his adopted dad tells him, this is who makes you who you are. That's where it could like hone in and make sense to, but because like I guess the narrative for that was like, it's not about, I don't know, it's not about who you're related to. It's about what, I forgot the message that usually people when they bring up that, but I can't think of the top of my head right now, because he had this idea of who he was, of what his parents had told him. Then it was also reinforced by the Kents. And then just because you found out a different side to them, that shouldn't change who you are, and that shouldn't change how you were raised. That's how I took the scene. That's how I took it. And he realized that too. And he went, you know what? This shouldn't change who I am. I'm going to go protect these people.
Well, it's your choices that define you. It's not what your lineage is, your blood. It's your choices. So essentially, you can even have you can have the most barbaric family members, but that doesn't mean that you need to be that way. It's your choices that make you who you are. And that's kind of what was going through. Like, he chose to be good, and he fought for everyone, like for that hope Like, hey, everyone's special, everyone is important, every living thing, and we need to get along, kind of deal.
Yeah, the stuff that needs to be worked on is his power level to a certain extent. He should be a little bit more stronger than what he was. Felt like he was really struggling with
Well, he
some of the
wasn't
kills
more
in the
than
movie,
80% the whole movie, so
which is weird
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
because
yeah.
he was
Isn't that
83% when he left the first scene, and then
It was basically
what
kryptonite
happened
fell
to him
down.
after the kryptonite poisoning, he was barely back to probably 50-60% power. So we didn't get to see a full healthy
Well, he got a chance
100%
to take a
Clark.
nap. Like he rested the whole night, but it still felt like he really wasn't at.
Well, oh yeah, that's true.
100%.
He did rest at his parents' house and did some recharge. I don't know where he was at after that. But
Yeah, because they didn't say.
It was nighttime. There was no yellow sun to heal him.
Oh God, Gray, I hate you.
I loved it. I loved seeing the dog laying on his chest when he woke up. It reminded me of my dog.
Good Lord, I'm
Yeah.
not a. Cats are better. Crypto was just annoying sometimes. Some scenes he worked, some scenes he didn't. It's hard. What I think should have made Crypto better is what I said in the trailer reaction we did video. He needs to be able to talk. If he could talk, that would be a lot more, fluid with like how you feel about him as a dog.
Why do you want the dog to be fluid?
They
He
should.
doesn't talk in the comics. No, I wouldn't.
I want him to talk. They had him talk in the
No,
animated
no.
show. He should
Oh,
talk.
man.
Why not?
He was perfect.
It's
He is the
Snow
baby
Dogs, they
Yoda
can
of this
talk.
thing. You ruin it. If it talks, it's like, okay, now we've got like a Muppet or
Why
something.
can't he talk?
But dude, just having had a puppy like a year ago,
Oh,
he's
no.
2 years now. Damn. It's very similar. I could only imagine if he had like superpowers. Like, my God, my house would be trashed and I'd be such a broken man.
Great. That's because we live in the real world. This is a make believe world with a Kryptonian.
No,
I catch
it would
you, but
it would not be
he
cool.
captured a lot of those puppy moments.
Why
I
can't
do.
he? Master, it'd be much more easier for the audience to understand the dog if he could speak. I don't know why he can't. It's already a flying dog with Kryptonian powers. We're already past logic. We already shot past that shit. Crypto was used enough. We'll see him more in Supergirl. No, God damn, no
You
more
will.
dog.
I love
He's
Crypto. I
the
thought
baby Yoda, man. He's
that
gonna be
was
in
some
everything.
of the best special effects of the year. Crypto looked amazing.
Superman needs to
par
bring
with
his
Leland
Charger next
Stitch.
movie. Right? Good Lord. Oh, so I kind of thought about that thing that someone had said on Twitter. They were like, well, why didn't he use his X-ray vision to see if that was a clone? To be completely fair, even if he did do that, it makes no narrative. Makes no real actual narrative change about it, though.
Does he have MSK version of X-ray vision? Like he just sees below their clothing? That's creepy.
Did he use a lot?
I
don't
thought
think he used
just
a lot
could
of
see
X-ray.
through.
I don't think he used a lot of X-ray vision in the movie in general. He used heat vision. He used his frost breath.
He used it on the monster to watch the T-spheres blow up.
He did do that. Yeah, he didn't use his X-ray vision that much. I remember that. He used it very little bit. But I'm trying to think of like what difference would it make if he knew that was a clone of his?
But I mean, can you choose just like 2 layers of fabric? Like he went all the way inside that creature with his
unless wait, if the suit was made of lead, then he couldn't have seen through it. I don't know if the suit was made of lead.
Why would he? Because he's not going to be thinking like it was not a clone of me. So
yeah, and also it's lead.
Well, I mean,
so
why wouldn't he be thinking that? How the hell else did they get into the thing that was coded to his DNA? I mean,
well,
the second they drop that line, it's like, okay, that means one of 2 things.
Yeah. And that's like kind of the thing where it was like, if the suit was made of lead and I forgot, fair enough. But I don't think it changes anything if he knew that was a clone of his. I mean, it like maybe fast forwards the plot a little bit more differently. Like, he goes, oh, wait a minute. Lex was probably here at my fucking fortress. I need to go take care of this, But
there was a lot of Richard Donner Superman shout outs in this, I've noticed. And also, like, Lex Luthor said that he cloned Superman by finding a strand of his hair at one of his battle scenes.
Insane person.
That's what Lex Luthor used to clone Superman in the 4th Superman movie, I think it was, when he created that Superman from the sun. Mm-hmm. He used hair from Superman that was in a museum. So that was kind of cool. The parents were a lot like what the Donner parents were like in the first Christopher Reeve Superman. There was a lot of cool little callbacks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I heard there was a JSA Easter egg in the movie. I heard there was, but I didn't see it. I mean, if there was, that's cool, but I didn't see it, honestly. Tony, what's up, man? Walter says, the fact that James Gunn isn't afraid to use more obscure character actually makes me more excited. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I want the rogues gallery and mainstays, but I welcome the obscure. So for me, it was really weird because it's not criticism of the movie. This is actually criticism of James Gunn. I don't know why he said the movie was based off All-Star Superman. If you guys haven't read All-Star Superman, I've read very little of it. I own it over there. This movie had nothing based off All-Star Superman. Though, at the very minimum, it had like Superman and Lois in it. But that doesn't even really count because that would be obvious he would be in the movie, obviously, because it's like fucking like Superman. I don't know why it said it was based off All-Star Superman. Maybe it's because James Gunn just likes Grant Morrison a lot and just wanted to give him credit for making the story. I don't know. It's like the same thing that bothered me with the Flash movie, where it was like, oh, it's based off of Flashpoint. No, it's not, because that's not Flashpoint at all. Not even close. It wasn't even like remotely close to the same. You know, I don't get why movies are like superhero movies. They said they're based off this book, even loosely, but have no connection to them at all. Like the main villain of Also Superman is like Bizarro, one of the main villains, from what I remember. It's like Bizarro wasn't a villain in this at all. The main villain was like what, Lex and Ultraman, which is weird because people said Superman killed Ultraman. He's not dead. It's probably gonna be at some point is gonna end up in an alternate Earth or a different Earth. Because, you know, DC loves their multiverses. So it's definitely on a different Earth. I'm calling it right now for sure.
Well, if he's like horribly scarred from the black hole, but he survives it somehow,
yeah,
and then comes back, then he's essentially Bizarro then. So that's essentially how you get Bizarro into. Because Bizarro was a clone of Superman that eventually just went bad, and Lex did mention that he was dumb. And he didn't speak the entire film except for grunts or screaming. So I was hoping for a direct Bizarro setup, but if he survives the black hole, there's a good chance he's going to be effed up, and then he'll probably be a Bizarro at that point.
It's pretty direct. Like, it seems like the breadcrumbs are leading in one trail for me on that one. So I'm assuming that's happening, but it's probably down the road. Probably same with Lex. I'm assuming we're not going to see him for a minute.
Yeah, I really love Nicholas Holt's performance as Lex Luthor. Hopefully we get to see more of this guy in this universe moving forward.
Well, I wonder if we're going to see him interacting with like is he going to be in Peacemaker season 2? Is he going to show up in one of the scenes? Because I heard him, what's to say, Flag's going to be a big part of it. I imagine Amanda Waller's going to be there. So we might see him interacting with Suicide Squad along those lines. I'd like to see him get out because just because he's getting hauled off to jail doesn't mean he can't post bail
and have a lawyer. Rich.
He was authorized by the United States to do some stuff. So there is plausible plot points where he can be free and clear with an ankle bracelet in the next Superman movie, and then bring in I'm hoping for to see Metallo or Parasite. I'd like to see a self-contained focused story with this new Superman. But yeah, it's there's a lot of possibility.
Oh, I totally forgot about this. Oh my God! Speaking of Superman, almost lost my train of thought there, which was good Lord, if we're gonna be in this kind of era of Superman, I do kind of wonder what will they be leading to, because I know the end goal is like Justice League, but what is going to be that mid gap? This is because we're going to be after because Clayface is what, 2027, I think, maybe 2026.
I think they said 2026.
Yeah,
so,
next year.
Yeah.
There's this like massive little mid gap right there that they want to build up.
Well, that's where you got the Lanterns. I think the Lanterns is
also 2026 too. Yeah.
And Batman and Wonder Woman are being worked on right now. So the plan is to go into Batman and Wonder Woman and establish them. I don't know if they're going to establish all of the main Justice League, but I know their 10-year plan is the next thing on their list are really working on getting Batman and Wonder Woman worked out.
Along those lines, so WZ is asking, do you think we're going to get another Flash? And do you think it's going to be Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller, definitely not. He should be lucky he can even eat food right now. No, I would imagine right now Mr. Terrific is the tech guy. sub in for like maybe Cyborg, because who knows, Cyborg could be down the road at this point. But I would imagine we're going to get every different version. I mean, there's a Batman being worked on, Wonder Woman. I would imagine there's going to be a different version of Aquaman. I imagine that, keep in mind, that's all still in the pipeline right now, but we do know for sure we're getting a new Batman and we're getting a new Wonder Woman for sure. So who else is there to get? Well, we already have a Hal Jordan, because that's the guy that's going to be in Lanterns. Then we would also need
Martian Manhunter, possibly an
maybe,
introduction
yeah,
of him somewhere.
yeah.
You know, a Cyborg, is he going to be there? Are we going to do, or is Cyborg going to be Teen Titans? There's been rumors of Teen Titans.
There's rumors of a Titans movie, yeah.
So, but you know, it's all going to be right now. They're concentrating on getting the Wonder Woman Batman script right. So it all depends on like which script gets ready. But the big focus from what the CEO and what James Gunn has said is Batman, Wonder Woman is getting those.
Well, it's the Trinity.
Right. Yeah, you
got to.
I think you should do it that way. Do the Trinity first.
Yeah, because I was so confused when he first announced. He had that announcement video back in like 2023 when he took over. He was like, "We're gonna do this, and that." And I was like, "Oh, okay," but shouldn't there be some focus on the Trinity? Because David Zaslav even said, like, these are our most important characters from DC. I want these focused on. And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do Swamp Thing, Authority, Amanda Waller." We're just like, huh?
So you've seen Peacemaker, though, and you've seen the Suicide Squad. I don't know. It's along those same lines. Once you see Creature Commando, I mean, it does kind of, your mileage may vary with it, but man, it sets up kind of an interesting world.
I got like
and
30
to be able
miles
to
on
flesh
me.
out these characters, dude, it made me care for characters that I should not have. I think you'll really identify with a robot. But yeah, it's, I don't know, man. It makes sense to me. Like originally, they also had Swamp Thing on the list as one of the first ones. That now got kicked back quite a few times. I don't even have like anything for that yet. But I kind of get it. Like flesh out this universe, and that's kind of what they were doing with the Justice Gang in the background of this, which I kind of dug, man. It's been a while since we've gotten something like that. Like, okay, you're just in the superhero world. It worked for a lot of the like counter ones, you know, like the Boys and those type of worlds. Why not? We've seen the story. I don't need the baby in the basket thing again. Like, just go.
What
Show
they
me that
could
world.
do, I know I'm coming at it from a comic book perspective. What they could do is they could actually start a comic book line for this universe. Hey, when
They
it's
have.
gonna, I'm pretty sure they have, right? Or else I'm wrong.
I believe they have. I had heard that they did, and they also had like the Terrific line of comics as well. And those
Because
are
the
kinda,
year one Mr. Terrific books, I know they did a year one 4-part miniseries for him. Pretty sure, I don't know if that's tied into like the movies or anything, but just overall, I would say you should start a comic book line for these. Like, if this ever hits big, don't do what the MCU did and never capitalize on that. That would be just tragic, because the goal I heard was that they want 2 live action, 2 live action movies, 1 animated show, and one TV show a year. That's enough. That's more
which
than
is
enough.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
Yeah,
getting
that's great.
Peacemaker season 2 this year, and
Yes.
WZ is saying he was confused. He thought the Supergirl movie was going to take us back before we met Superman, but didn't expect her to have already met him in this movie. You're right. It is kind of jumping forward. I think you're going to see a lot of that where people wanted to see what happened there. You know, she was a teen. She like actually experienced it. She wasn't just a baby there. So I think you're going to get a lot of that, and then you're going to see what got her to this state. So I think there's going to be a lot of flashback in that future one.
And also too, in this universe, everyone is around. Like there is already a Batman, Superman already has either heard of, or you know, everyone knows. Like Wonder Woman is around. We may not have met them yet. So there's going to be a lot of this where when these characters meet, it's going to be like, oh yeah, I've heard about you for a while, or some of them might have even talked to each other. We just haven't found out yet as an audience. So James Gunn is not going to do many origins. He wants to kind of go into where, oh, this world's already established. We're just learning about it now.
And that's what the animated movies did. I mean, the ones that didn't do origin stories, animated movies from the DC animated universe they had going for a long time, technically starts with Massive Phantasm, but I guess you could say started with Death of Superman officially, which was like they didn't really do origin stories like that. They just kind of threw you into a story and just kind of just went with it. You know, so because at that point you'd be kind of overthinking it. It's like, do you all? Because keep in mind, I don't care if people don't do this. BVS did it the best, in my opinion. It was crazy. It's the only thing I really credit that movie with doing anything good. Batman's backstory is a flash right when the credits are going. You see the pearls drop. That's it. 1 to 5 seconds. You see it. That's it. It doesn't have to be this big over dramatic thing, you know. Or the character could reference it. There could be a flashback of it. Who knows? It doesn't have to be the entire movie, you know? But can't wait to have Pedro Pascal, Reed Richards. Can't wait to have that. Am I right, guys? 1 second here. I'm going to go over one Robert Meyer Burnett tweet. Just 1 quick second. Jor-El's backstory was later rebooted in Burns' The Man of Steel in 1986, and then again in Superman Birthright in 2004, each offering new takes on his character and Kryptonian society in general. Yeah, but just I want to keep in mind to people these things exist just because they're not shown to you. Like, but the more commonly loved interpretation that they've always used is the loving Jor-El that foresaw Krypton's death, and he wanted Clark to come here and do good. You know, one is more liked, one is just not as popular. But that doesn't mean the non-popular one didn't exist. James Gunn just chose to use that one, which is like,
let's be honest. You're in a futuristic society that's about to end. You found a planet for your son, and if he's able to observe this planet, he sees a bunch of these hairless, barbaric apes nuking each other and shooting each other along those lines. And he's like, listen, I'm going to send you there, but they're primitive animals, so put them in line and spread your seed around so we get more Kryptonians. It's scientifically, I mean, it does kind of make sense.
From his point of view, being an alien, I could see the point of view of it. You know?
Yeah, because they had to look like just tribesmen to compare to the Kryptonians. So it's a very almost realistic kind of take to where, yeah, I could see even the loving, most respectful person kind of being like, listen, son, you're going to be a god to these people, and don't get messed up in their shit. Just rule them, take out the ones that get in your way, and sleep with as many of them as you can, you know, and create Kryptonian babies.
Yeah, and hey, you know, getting Kryptonian babies going would be pretty hard. I mean, I know how to have sex with girls, but you guys know how I feel about that. You know, crazy stuff going on there. All right. Let's have some fun, people. Some good old-fashioned fun. You guys ready to talk and discuss things in a video with Top G Rizmaster MSK? After this fire truck goes through.
I was born ready.
After this fire truck goes through, we're going to do it. Or I think it's gone. All right, it's gone. All right. But Gray, wait, do we even do intros? I don't think we even did intros.
Hey, I'm Gray.
Hey, I'm Lunchbox Warren.
All right. Well, that just fucking solved that, honestly. You know? But what else did I say? Man, I forgot what else I was going to say about the movie. It's crazy. People calling this a lot. I know Clownfish had a video where the video was titled "The New Last Jedi." I don't think it's that controversial. Last Jedi was way more controversial in this movie.
Man, I gotta watch that. I don't. So I've seen a few reviews. Like I saw Ben Shapiro's why he hates it. I don't think those are necessarily like the greatest.
Ben Shapiro's a Jew.
Does
anything really matter, honestly?
Oh, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
I'm just saying. Like I don't know how this has become the Last Jedi. Which,
no way.
Fair enough. I mean, based. But I don't know how this has become the Last Jedi of superhero.
Do people remember The Last Jedi? It was
very bad. The Last Jedi split the fan base. This is not splitting the fan base. You have a section of fans who are either Snyder cultists or they just didn't like the James Gunn style in the movie and had different ideas for Superman. Also, too, there's people who are trying to politicize this because there was political undertones with the story. A lot of real world events were reflected in what happened in the film. So I could see where they could get at that. But there is a huge politicizing type kind of thing going on too right now. Like, I wouldn't trust Ben Shapiro's review by no means.
I mean, he said BVS was a good movie. I was like, what? I mean, I always tell people this. If that's how he truly feels, that's fine. And I always just let people know this, like, hey, if he generally went and watched it and didn't like it, that's fine. But I would like that to be a common sense, but like I'm not trying to go out there and convince Ben Shapiro that it's a good movie. I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't have to. Because I feel like a lot of people do this constantly. It's like, well, if someone didn't like the movie, then they're going to focus like 20 Twitter replies trying to convince them it's a good movie. And it's like, why are you doing that? Are you more infatuated with their opinion of the movie or yours? Because mind, I feel like that's what really gets people. Someone says something about a movie that someone likes, not just with this one, and then people will spend multiple Twitter threads on that person's opinion. And it's like, dude, do you like your opinion more or his? Because it's like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you just want to convince yourself that their opinion is wrong, even though it's their opinion. It's not about wrong or right. It's just your opinion, you know? So I wish people would stop doing that. It's like, hey, that's why for me, I'm trying to create something where like, hey, if I say something about a movie, you will care. But I know you'll disagree, and that's fine. And I think that got missed and thrown away like throughout all these many years, is that people were like commonly agreeing on things, which were the things to agree on because they were blatantly happening in front of us. And then it got to a point where people kind of forgot this common sentiment, which was you're human beings. You're going to disagree on some things, but it shouldn't be controversial to disagree. Like if someone didn't like Superman, that's fine. I don't give a fuck if someone didn't like Superman. Why? And that's how you know you're talking to some fucking beta bitch soy boy dude. Why do I care about a person I don't know's opinion about a movie? I don't even know you. I don't even probably like you. If I did meet you, I probably wouldn't like you either. Why do I care if you don't like the movie? It has no effect on me. Like, you know, when leftists and Democrats say, oh, that doesn't affect you. No, because in their case, it doesn't work. This one, it doesn't. This one, actually, it does apply. If Lunchbox Warren didn't like, I don't know, Sinners or whatever, why would I care? It doesn't affect me at all. It literally, like, and keep in mind, if I like the movie so much, I should be convincing random people why it's a good movie. I'm not going to convince someone who doesn't like it. Their mind's already made up. You know, that's why I feel like a lot of people get all this, like, I don't know, mixed up when it comes to movie conversations. That's what movie conversation sucks. It's always some nobody trying to convince someone who's more popular that their opinion is wrong. And they're not going to move away from that, for being honest here. Like, because come on, I'm always right. You know, being right is forever.
This film does so much right that even if you didn't like me, I didn't like the Jor-El choice, but that's like a small fraction of the film, and this film was really, really good. You know, I gave it a 9 out of 10. It's you hear a lot of people just like that are like, yeah, I had a lot of fun. A lot of people say they had fun, they enjoyed it. The audience score is good, the critic score is good. It made $17 million Tuesday, which was it's over $300 million globally in 4 days. It's doing fine, and it's a big hit for DC. Like no matter what, you could question the story about it along those lines, but when it comes to are we going to see more of these movies, we definitely are. I mean, it's done nothing but just put wind in the DC sail.
All right, now we're gonna have some fun here. The only thing that I generally disagree with when it comes to Superman, not what you said, but just comic book wise, when people say, "Oh, he's fucking belief for Jesus," it's like, guys, Jerry Siegel and Joel Schuster are Jewish. Jewish people do not believe that Jesus was a Messiah, so he is just literally no way, shape, or form possible a homage to Jesus. They literally do not believe he's a Messiah. That is a core value a lot of them have. How in the world was he fucking like a Christian right wing, whatever people keep saying? It makes no sense logically. People don't even know that the creators of Superman are Jewish people. There's no Christianity involved in that at all. I mean, the only thing you could possibly say,
it's Old Testament.
People can say he's Moses, but even that's kind of
it's baby in a basket pushed down the river. Come on.
And even that's like, I mean, it's like, I guess.
Well, and just because they didn't plan it, Superman's been around for almost 100 years.
Yeah,
people have portrayed him that way. So
yeah, but the original creators,
creators may not have, but
yeah,
it has happened because people have treated him almost like a god. Like people have treated him like Zeus. There's portrayals that have him almost like a Zeus figure, and other ones kind of treat him almost like a Christ-like figure too.
Or like with the whole death of Superman, when they were like, "But he died and rose again." Guys, people have to understand they were always going to bring him back. And keep in mind, you're going to tell me the people that worked in the comic book industry at DC were thinking of Christianity when they killed him off and killed him back?
Dude.
Not even.
The Death of Superman cover? You're not seeing any symbolism or anything?
No
in
way
there?
Dan Jurgens was thinking that. No way.
What?
No way he was thinking that. No, they just wanted to do that for a boost in their sales, and it worked.
Well,
That's
I
like
mean,
one of the most legendary Superman stories ever told. And I like the
Justice
story a
League has
lot.
more of the Justice League heroes have more of a kinship to Greek gods than they do anything else, like Zeus, Poseidon, Athena, stuff along those lines. Than they do with any other real religions. I mean, they seem to be modeled almost off the Greek god set.
Oh, what happened? Let me say, if you read or watch any form of media that has two or more parties vying for governance/power, congratulations, you have a story with politics. That's where people on both sides are cupcakes. Hey, I like pie
Wow.
better. Pie's better.
You made it through all of those words. Congrats, sir.
Oh God,
No,
are you
good
saying
point,
I'm
Walter.
not illiterate?
Well, I mean, people are going to read what they want into anything. You're right. Anytime you have two sides, people are going to somehow identify, you really meant these guys. This is couch in there, and they're going to see it through their own lens. But you're right. I think people are being way too, I don't know, cupcakey, snowflakey, whatever you want to call it on this. Yeah, I heard it was super woke before I saw it, and now I've heard kind of the opposite thing on
It's
it.
literally not
So,
woke in any shape. I don't know where that even came from. People were talking
well,
about
girl
not
boss.
one they kept saying, "Oh, well, James Gunn changed the motto of truth, justice, and the American way." Actually, these people, I know they don't know this. That's not been a motto for Superman in a very long time. It's just the
I
most.
never even heard that in the movie. Was that even said in the
It's
movie?
not even said because
No.
reports were saying that it was changed to truth, justice, and the human way. Not even never said,
No.
never uttered, never said at all. Like what? I was like, we people are just. I don't know what movie you were watching. Because the only time that's ever been said is in the original 1970s Superman movie. It's the only time it's ever been
Well,
said, truth, justice, and the American way.
yes, there are elements where you could say, okay, the conflict between the two countries mirrored the Israel and Palestine
Oh,
conflict,
no.
Palestine conflict, and then the one country's backed by America, which was they were backed by Luthor and his money and his weapons, and you could say, okay, yeah, that's political, but the point is though is that the message of the movie wasn't political. Yes, they used stuff that kind of mirrored real life situations, but the message of the movie was about, being good and choosing to do good and enjoying and having that hope and appreciating life around you. Like that was the hope was the message of the story, like
Right.
being good and being like Superman's a little punk rock. Well, being kind is punk rock. And so since it's not a political message, it's an overall kind of just kindness message, then yeah, the other stuff is just reaching because the film wasn't a political pandering prop to get a political message out. It was a film about the heart of the character, and that's why it works. And everyone who watched, like we all went to watch it, we all heard it was woke. I didn't see anything that was out of place, woke, or didn't go along with characters. Even the Jor-El decision is a comic book decision that has been shown multiple times. So I can't even, so even that was like nothing out of this was out of line. Nothing was pandering. Nothing was changed. Everything felt right. The characters were picked correctly. The actors were good. Is it the best comic film made? No, I still think Winter Soldier's better, but that's that's personal preference. But this was a really damn good movie though, and it's one of the best films probably since Guardians 3. Arguably, Guardians 3 was, to some people has been better, but James Gunn is just knocking it out of the park right now.
Before we go to the article for the video, Walter says, if you can't watch a film without being reminded of real life politics at some point as a viewer, you need to take accountability for your inability to detach, which people like Shapiro aren't willing. That's the thing is,
100%.
Even when I go and watch a movie, I always do this in my brain. I always go, whatever happens on Twitter, whatever happens right now, doesn't matter. All that matters is what I'm watching and listening to right now. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people just only see what happens in real life in movies, but that ends up being a contradiction to what they've always been talking about, which is this stuff is supposed to be an escape. It's supposed to be not real life,
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm just a hot, rich, good-looking black guy. So,
And Walter's right though. You got to be careful that you're not imprinting stuff on there that's not there. It just you're seeing stuff. You're chasing ghosts because you're so wrapped up in this war in the politics stuff to the point where you're seeing politics where it's not there. And it's just you got to kind of take your own accountability for that too.
All right, let's have some fun here. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a Variety article that came out earlier today, and it was titled "A New Day for DC. Warner Brothers has Superman sequel options." So, the very first movie in the DCU, Superman, has officially came out worldwide. And it has been an absolute treat to see just the interesting conversations that have surrounded this movie. Some didn't like it a lot. Some, wait a minute, hold on. I have the wrong thing here.
Oh, you were going so well.
I had porn up here. I was gonna.
You're watching porn while we're talking about Superman?
No. To be fair, a girl was messaging me. She was sending me some naked pics.
Okay, it wasn't a girl, dude. We get it.
Ew, that's gross. All right, I'm joking.
You're
guys.
used to these AI dating apps just getting out of hand.
They're doing crack!
Right? All right, let's have some fun. Let's really boil it down. Let's get in me and clap my butthole. Make it stretch Diddy style. No?
Yeah, that didn't make it weird at all.
That wasn't weird at all. Yeah, just nothing to see here. Pay attention to no man behind the curtains.
You got men's behind your curtains?
No, I have women. They like to have sex with me a lot. But all right, all jokes aside, let's have some fun. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about a new Variety article that came out earlier today, and it was titled "A New Day for DC. Warner Brothers has Superman sequel options." So, the very first movie of the DCU has come out, which is Superman, the first installment in the DCU, which is basically, DC and Warner Brothers' second attempt at building a cinematic universe on the big screen to compete with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, in herein lies the joke. The Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't competing with anyone right now because their universe is absolute garbage right now. So this is kind of like the perfect time for DC to kind of build up their own new cinematic universe from the very beginning. Fresh start right here with Superman. And who else would have been the better pick for a character to start off the DCU than Superman? There's a lot writing on this movie. There's been a lot of chatter happening with the movie. I do recommend you guys go and watch our Superman movie review that we did. It was very thorough, very in-depth, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to enjoy it. And it's awesome, and this is the one thing this movie did very well that I really enjoyed that it did. Not in the movie, but just the overall atmosphere of the movie, which was, it's a movie that people are just debating on the merits of what's in the movie itself, not bullshit like, well, was this an intersectional feminist fucking scene, or bigots or Nazis or T-phobes or homophobes and all that other stupid shit that people always say if you don't like a movie, right? No, I have enjoyed that people have overall been talking about what's legitimately in the movie, not like the outside bullshit that happens, typically when these movies always come out. So I do give James Gunn credit for that. The movie wasn't quote unquote woke at all. The political undertones were very much in line with like how comic books normally function anyway. So I wouldn't call those political anyway. I would just kind of call those like, comic book world politics in general. It's a fun, awesome, great movie. And I do hope that when you guys take your, kids to go see this movie, you guys are married, I hope this movie maybe makes you a Superman fan, or maybe makes your kids a Superman fan. And I always will say this too, before we go to this article, is that if you want more Superman, why wait? There's plenty of live action, TV show and movie Superman content out there, animated TV show and movie content out there. There's always the comic books you guys could all, go and read. Just don't let this be like your end all be all waiting for a Superman sequel. There's plenty of Superman out there to enjoy. This is also the summer of Superman as well that DC Comics was doing, but I'm pretty sure none of you cared because, well, DC Comics and marketing just fucking hell it's like mixing oil and fucking ketchup. Actually, just trash, honestly. But where does the franchise go? Because Superman costs a lot of money to make. It's also the marketing budget attached to it is a lot of money. Now, I know studios are always like, oh, but I'm cool with what it makes. No, you're not. You want this movie to make a lot of money. Let's just not even play that game here. These studios didn't just give James Gunn a lot of money. Just sit there and not make them money back in return. Now, you could look at it one of two ways. You put money in initially up front, and then you go, okay, we didn't make that much, but I could see the upward trajectory in it. Or you kind of see like, damn, we just fucking hit it right out of the park. Because people have brought up Superman Returns, Batman Begins. Well, keep in mind, guys, Batman Begins, Superman Returns is a much different situation. First of all, Batman Begins is just an objectively better movie in every single stretch of imagination. But we're going off just money-wise. Batman Begins was a little bit cheaper to make, and given the fact that it's 2005 and 2006 inflation, right? There is obviously something there that they saw with Batman Begins versus Superman Returns. It's not always one-to-one where if a movie makes less money that it gets the sequel, but these things can always be changing when it comes to Hollywood, right? So when we're looking at what's going on with this article from Variety, it is a new day for DC, breaking down Superman salaries, budgets, and more as studio fast tracks Wonder Woman and its future. So what is the future of this franchise? From all the videos that we've done on the channel, we pretty much know that they're going to do 2 live action movies a year, an animated TV show or movie, and a live action TV show. So about 4 pieces of content a year. So pretty much 3 movies and a TV show, which is good. Honestly, I don't think that's too much. It just depends on how much they're spaced out, actually. If the content starts getting very, very bad, I would say tone down on it a little bit. But all of this right now just depends on how well this movie does and what do they really want out of the movie. Because if people don't actually know this, movie theater attendance is really, really down compared to back then. I know people want to be like, well, Man of Steel made more money. Yeah, Man of Steel also came out in a time period where a lot of you went to the fucking movie theater. A lot of you don't go to the movie theater now. It's just what it is. Like, come on. Literally 12 years ago, a bunch of people flocked to the movie theater to watch movies because that's all we really did. There's nothing else better to do sometimes. A lot has changed in 12 years. Also, I'm pretty sure adjusted for inflation, Man of Steel isn't a better movie, but that's a joke for another day, actually. So, ahead of the world premiere of James Gunn's Superman on July 7th, DC Studios co-chief Peter Safran took the stage to thank the most important person seated in the audience, Warner Brothers Discovery President and CEO David Zaslav. He says, and I quote, "For your faith and trust in James and in me to make this movie and to kickstart the new era of DC." So does he mean the new era for The Rock for DC? Remember, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change? No. There's no hierarchy that changed with that movie. That movie just came out and we all fucking hated it. In fact, there were only a few echoes of DC passed inside the TCL, Chinese IMAX theater, including Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in the long-running series Smallville, and Will Reeve, the son of the late Christopher Reeves, and thus ambassador to the Richard Donner Superman over. Otherwise, the night stood as the dawn of a new beginning for the film franchise that has earned $16.8 billion over 58 films at the box office, but has been eclipsed in recent years by crosstown rival Marvel. Also, this number is pretty interesting that they're totaling up everything. I mean, keep in mind, they put out more movies than the MCU, and it's made a fraction of that. I mean, the MCU's made what, $33 billion over just 36 movies coming up. They've made 16 over 58. Also, the DCEU barely made anything, if we're being honest here. Those all pretty much flopped, actually. But did Gunn, who took the reins of DC with Safran in 2022, and also wrote and produced the film, pull off a franchise jumpstart? The refrain heard on the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank and around Hollywood was "good enough," in quotations, accompanied by a sigh of relief as Gunn's movie lifted off to $220 million worldwide, ushering in a 10-year vision for DC. So by 2035, where will we be at? I don't know. We'll see. By 2035, I'll be filthy fucking rich and driving like 6 Lamborghinis and going out to Vegas every weekend banging strippers. And Warren agrees with me, right?
Sure.
I hate you guys so much. Zaslav took a victory lap before the ink was dry on the weekend's box office numbers, calling the performance soaring and just the first step. But his posture struck many in town as odd and premature, given that CEOs rarely weigh in publicly about a film's opening weekend. He says, and I quote, "Domestically, Superman stuck the landing, but international numbers are disappointing," says box office analyst Jeff Brock of exhibitor relations of the $95 million overseas haul. For Superman to be one of the biggest summer blockbusters, not to mention reset an entire universe, the film needed to pack more punch in its debut. Obviously, the following weeks will tell the true box office tale, but this has to be viewed as a slightly underwhelming start for Warner Brothers but this has to be viewed as a slightly underwhelming start for DC and Warner Brothers. So I'm going to look at it right now really quickly. So Superman box office mojo. Because I would imagine it didn't do that well internationally. I would imagine that would honestly hit more here domestically.
I've heard better numbers than that. So when was that article made?
Let's see. Because this came out today, actually. Pretty sure. Because what, today is the 16th? Today is the 16th, right? Yeah, so this came on the 16th. So let's see where we're at really currently right here. All right, 1 second. So Superman, as of today, has made $250 million worldwide. Internationally, it only pulled in $95 million. Domestically,
okay, yeah. The numbers I saw were off. The numbers I saw said 115. So,
so let's see. It domestically opened to 125. Yeah, that's not doing too well right now. Also factoring in, there's the second weekend drop off coming up very soon. However much it'll drop off.
What type of drop offs? You think the majority of the audience is going to the Smurfs?
Or yeah, Warner Brothers
Eddington
next week, right? Is Fantastic Four coming out next week or the following week?
So it's this weekend is Smurfs, Eddington, which is the Ari Aster one, which is going to be nothing.
Yeah.
And then, damn it, I know what you did last summer or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think it's much of a crossover. I
Yeah.
I think it's going to kill this weekend. Again, it's going to be number one, and I don't think it's going to be a huge drop. It might not be Sinners, where it, that was a record low
6% weekend crazy.
I don't think we're going there,
not
but
like that ever again.
I don't know, man. I could see like a 25% drop, and still getting a ton of money.
So big blockbusters
DC's
like with this
Twitter, they said on there that they're expecting a soft 50% drop, which would be 120, like 125 million. So I mean, to throw on top of that would be 375, where it'd be at after the second weekend. I think and if it does better than that, like if it does only drop 25, it's like you are correct. It's got good word of mouth, and there's no competition this weekend coming up. So if you missed it last weekend, now
But this is kind of it. Like next weekend's Fantastic Four, and then we're gonna just keep going after that. So
and
it really
how
has to
well
be this
is Fantastic Four gonna do?
I mean, let's be
because
honest here. I have no faith in that doing well at all. I think it might
I just think
actually
it's going to
perform worse
bump it
than
out
good.
of one.
Yeah,
No matter what, I
probably.
think it's going to get first that weekend, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Oh, the other thing to bring up to people is like this is what happens for DC, and not even just this movie because I like the film, but this is what happens when you reboot constantly. Is people generally kind of they don't have faith, and it's like it's like I'll bring up a reference. Warren will know this one. Like crowdfunding. Let's say if you back someone book and you don't get it, you're more hesitant on giving them your money again to someone else, even though that person had kind of nothing to do with the previous guy. I think the reason why the numbers are a little bit lower is because people are very hesitant on trusting that DC is going to fully see through this vision for their new cinematic universe. You know, I think that might be the thing because what else would it be though? Because like, come on, people don't trust DC will see a vision through because that's what they don't typically do. But again, those numbers aren't that good at all. They're okay for as far as week 1. So by week 2, we'll really see if it has that set of legs you guys are talking about. More importantly, Wall Street is feeling good about the bow. Warner Bros. Discovery stock jumped 2.4% from $11.73 at the close of July 11th to $12 by the end of the day and July 14th. Wall Street analyst Dan Ives of Wedbush Securities calls the film's performance very impressive domestically and a huge boost for the franchise given some worries coming in. He adds the international is mixed, but overall an A- weekend for Superman. And one top agent says he can understand a little crowing from Zaslav, considering the press treated him like the village idiot / punching bag for so long. You can't blame a guy for grabbing on top of any piece of good news, says the agent. The film cost $225 million and another $125 million to market globally. The latter including pricey stunts like a Superman figure hovering at the apex of London's tallest building, the Shard, on July 1st. One rival studio executive estimated that the Shard Gambit alone cost 7 figures. Warner's always believed that Superman would under-index internationally because the titular hero is inextricably linked with the American way. So let's just use these numbers right
It's
there.
what linked?
Which way?
Say that one more time.
Which way is it linked?
Into your buttholes.
I think you might have misread that word.
So it needs $350 million to break even, according to the budget and the deal there. So it's going to have to make $700 million in order to be considered a success.
Yeah.
Unless they're like, well, 550 and good momentum into Supergirl. I don't know how they look at it.
It might be a Sony Spider-Man universe situation where this one just does well, but the other ones don't do as well. I mean, and keep in mind that I'm saying is that could be the way it pans out. But we're looking at what it would have to mean to break even. It needs $350 million to, let's say, break even. So you also got to consider the theaters have to get their cut. So I think if a budget of that magnitude, it would need about $700 million roughly.
So you're saying that in Extra Cali they are linked to the $700 million?
Oh my goodness. I said that, did I not? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, you pronounced it perfect, but I forget what was the word again?
So if you just went with 225, because people do like minus the marketing times 2 or 2.5. Let's see right here. Or did I do plus? Oh my god. Am I stupid? Did I do times? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. My bad. I'm actually a moron.
Did you want answers to those questions?
Yeah, so like 360 and all that stuff. Oh, okay. So it needs a little bit more money to be in that green area. But if the film ends up making less than Man of Steel, that would be crazy, honestly. Also, I don't know why they put Warner Brothers stock. No one, I mean, I don't care about them. I don't put the stock market. I mean,
Dude,
my stock
if
in
you
women has gone up.
They're killing it this year.
They
like
are?
all of the hits. Man, Sinners. Shit, I'm forgetting the other one. Minecraft, and then this one. Man, they're gonna be hitting hard this year.
Typically, a film star's earn the top salaries. But in this case, Gunn was by far the highest earner, pulling down 20 times more than David Corenswet, who portrayed Superman / Clark Kent, and Rachel Brosnahan, who portrayed Lois Lane, who each earned $750K to Gunn's $15 million. According to sources, Gunn also draws a 7-figure salary as the studio's top executive. And Nicholas Hoult, who plays arch-villain Lex Luthor, nabbed a $2 million payday, although Warner Brothers has sequel options on Corenswet and Brosnahan. A sequel announcement does not appear to be imminent. Instead, sources say the studio is fast-tracking a Wonder Woman movie, and the studio is thrilled with Matt Reeves' just submitted screenplay draft for the sequel to The Batman. Warner Brothers declined to comment. Still, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which marked the last DC reset, performed better when adjusted for inflation, earning $200 million worldwide in its opening frame, or $276 million in today's dollar. And Superman will need to keep audiences filling up the Cineplex to be deemed a true success. That seems likely given the critical and fan response, with word of mouth strong thanks to an A- cinema score. Ultimately, Superman largely avoided stepping into the culture wars until too late in the film's run up to make a difference. Gunn's brother Sean, who plays Maxwell Lord in the film, told Variety at the premiere, "We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant. And yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants." So what that idiot doesn't understand. People don't have a general problem with immigrants. They have a problem with illegal immigration. If you legally immigrate to the country, people are fine with that. But typically, retards like him don't understand the difference, and they always conflate the two because they just want to be disingenuous. And if you don't like that, you're not American. It's crazy. Fucking hell, right? On the other side of the political aisle, Frank Grillo, who plays Rick Flag Sr., sparked a ripple of anti-MAGA outrage when he liked an opening weekend social media post released by the White House depicting President Donald Trump as the Man of Steel, along with the caption, "The symbol of hope, truth, justice, and the American way, Superman Trump." Wait, Frank Grillo got backlash for liking a tweet, and these people wonder why nobody wants to vote for this party. He got in trouble for liking a post on his own Twitter account.
I mean, it was the president using AI to put his face on the movie that he's supposed to be promoting that he was just in. I could understand why people might be like, "Hey, what the hell, man? He's using your movie thing for political reasons. What the hell?" I could kind of understand it. I would never, not like him or whatever, chastise him for liking it. It's like he can do what the hell he wants. But if you're in a movie, it's opening weekend, and you're applauding somebody kind of using an AI version of your poster for their own gain, I could see, people getting upset at you for that. It seems reasonable.
But one hot button issue is resonating with some moviegoers. Pro-Palestinian activists and influencers are hailing the film on social media for what they see as an overt rebuke of Israel in the wake of its deadly military campaign in Gaza. In the film, Lex Luthor has started a foreign war and is making billions off the conflict. The aggressor nation, dubbed Bavaria, drops bombs and oppresses its desert neighbor until Superman saves the day. I mean, keep in mind, this is how you know people just can't escape from life at all. Why in the world would you even be... when you go to a movie, you're thinking this? That's what you're thinking? It's ridiculous. Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, who has a massive following, called the film 2 hours and 10 minutes of fuck Israel the entire time. A sentiment echoed across social media and opening weekend. Nobody takes Hassan Piker seriously. That guy's literally a fucking loser. Not a single human being on this planet listens to that fucking retard.
He has like 1 million.
Dude,
followers.
He's got his mom, too, to bring him chicken nuggies. I mean, he's got it made. He doesn't seem like a loser to me.
Oh, God. I lost faith in you guys, too. However, the timeline might not align with Israel as a stand-in for Bavaria. Gunn turned in his script in May 2023, months before the current Israel-Gaza conflict escalated. Yeah, keep in mind, I wasn't even thinking any of this when I was watching the movie. Do people not know this is a make-believe world? This isn't real. This is not real. At any point, good lord, projection is off the fucking charts. It's over 9,000. Still, the perception may ultimately help keep Superman in the conversation long after opening weekend, says Bach. The saving grace for the new DCU might be if the film can go 12 rounds and stay in theaters throughout August. Yes. So let me just make sure I have this right. Superman budget and marketing right here. I want to make sure I have the accurate number to come in. Also, keep in mind, theaters get their cut too. So, okay, so this brings the total cost of the movie to $350 million. Okay, so the production budget for the new Superman movie is reported to be $225 million with an additional $125 million allocated for global marketing. This brings the total estimated cost to $350 million. The marketing campaign is described as robust, including some high-profile stunts, like Superman figure hovering over, which we just read. Oh my goodness. No, God damn it. Fucking hell. So if we're looking at a $350 million total, so that would mean calculator. So what, 350 times 2? It just needs that to break even.
Yeah, and it's projected low, like 555. I saw high, like just under 800 million. So
that means your break even is that? Oh no,
I
that
think
means
it's
this
gonna make
movie
that.
It's going to be a loss leader, man. It starts the whole franchise and it gets people interested.
If that's what their goal, if that's what they want, that's their goal. That's
well, look
fine.
at those first few Marvel movies. They weren't making what the Avengers did.
There's also back
if it is
inflation too.
True, fair enough. But I think they're trying to work their way up to it. I think they'd be okay just breaking even on the first one.
And they deserve
Obviously,
to.
that's
This
not
is
what you want
deserve.
from everything from a franchise.
I mean, this is what they deserve. They did this to themselves. If people don't have faith that they're gonna see it playing through, that's. I mean, what's the old saying? You make your bed, you lay in it, kind of thing. Good lord.
I think it's clean your room.
So it's about $700 million to break even. Holy shit! And then you got to factor in theater cuts. Yeah, this movie would have to make like $800 million to even bring in a tiny bit of profit. I just don't see it doing that. It's gonna be a loss leader. Sorry, I had hope. But as you guys know, I am very consistent and fair when it comes to this thing. I said if Superman was a box office failure, I call it that. And it looking like it might be. It's only week 1. We'll have to see how it pans out the rest of the weeks.
I don't know if you could call it a failure if it makes its budget back. Like, obviously, it's not the success, but if it makes it back, I mean, it's not exactly like a mistake. It's just not the success that everyone was hoping for.
Yet.
We'll know more about the second weekend. If it has its soft 50-55% drop, word of mouth carry is good, stays second place after Fantastic Four comes out, and they don't rush to digital, I could see it getting to 700-800 million.
I don't think they're gonna rush to digital just with what they've done with like Sinners and what they did with Minecraft movie. I think they're gonna milk this for everything it's worth.
Yeah, and you had people that brought up like, but the toy sale and merchandising will make up for it. This is why I know average people are fucking retarded. That has nothing to do with box office. Toy deals and licensing deals are completely separate from that. Completely separate. Also, keep in mind, who's out there sitting there buying toys for their kids anymore? I mean, toys sell, obviously, yes, but like toy sales, it has to be a very, very lucrative franchise for toy sales to really make an impact. And keep in mind, they're not counting toy sales to a movie, but a movie's box office. Are you a moron? What? Just, oh God, I heard that today and I was like, what? So if I have a movie and I'm only looking forward to this making money, why would a toy sale matter? What the hell? Oh God.
WC has a really good question.
That would make sense. That kind of merchandising would make sense. Yeah, if you had popcorn buckets and slushies, yeah, that would count. But not toys. What the fuck? So if I sold a Superman dildo, question. If I sold a Superman dildo, would that make fucking it count toward the box office too?
No, but he was asking about your Google search. When your Google search was up, somehow the previously searched had come up.
You need to clear your
Just
history, in
saying.
other words.
It looks like you're interested in these superhero toys that you said nobody was interested in. They're getting a lot of merch money from you.
So yeah, we'll get our final thoughts and opinions on what we just covered. But that is big news right there. They're fast tracking a Wonder Woman movie. Now keep in mind, I liked that animated one they did back in 2009. It came out. I watched it later on in life, but I did like that one. I liked the first Gal Gadot movie minus the bullshit in the third act. I did like it, but Wonder Woman 84 was just a pile of shit.
Your
honestly.
jam. Yeah, I know. You kept saying how good it was. I remember.
Yeah, never. So I'd imagine they're going to get a new actress for, Wonder Woman, because Gal Gadot is obviously not going to do anymore because they want to do a new interpretation. But yeah, fast tracking a Wonder Woman movie. So we're going to have essentially the next movie after Clayface, if they're fast tracking Wonder Woman. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. My brain fried. I was going to think about have sex with my wife. Jokes aside. So after Clayface, we should probably expect Wonder Woman. They're fast tracking it, right?
Supposedly.
They want a good actress this time. Good Lord.
I'm assuming I'm assuming it's going to be over a year. Like, if they're fast tracking it now, they still got to get the script. And from what he's tried to make clear, the script comes first.
Script has to be first. Yep.
I think it was probably like 2027 at the earliest, and they're saying that's fast tracking it.
Mm-hmm. Because they actually wrapped production on Supergirl and Clayface. No, Supergirl wrapped production, they said. And so I mentioned it's probably in post-production right now. Clayface, I don't know what kind of,
I don't think they've filmed it at all.
They're pre-production still, right? Yeah. So
I believe so.
The fourth movie is going to be Wonder Woman. Okay. That's interesting. But, a lot of people were asking, like, hey, where's Wonder Woman at? And all these announcements, because he announced like a Paradise Lost HBO Max series, but it wasn't going to have her in it. It's like, what? Just weird decisions this guy's come up with. I've just questioned, in my brain.
So if it's like a prequel, though, you could find out what like brings Diana to
what leads to Penguin. How much Penguin made the Batman better. So there is possibility of that too, where we get these TV series that help us enjoy the films even more. But how long can James Gunn keep it up? That's a big question. Like, he's balancing a lot of scripts right now. He seems to be he's the final say in approval. He's helping write a lot of these scripts. So, if they want to do 2 films a year and then a TV series, so then what's the second film? Well, next year will be Supergirl and Clayface. Yeah, so then
Clayface is only like 40 million. So I think no matter what, like with the body horror aspect of it, they're probably going to make that much on it. Yeah, it's supposedly going like really into the body horror.
Hopefully, that movie's marketing budget's not super huge. $40 million for a budget. You don't need to market. You don't need that much marketing for a horror movie. But it's a Disney movie.
I think they're treating it like a horror film. It's going to be like $100 million to
at least market it.
Budget and marketing probably. And James Gunn said in an interview just real recently too that he wants every film to be its own feel. So Supergirl's going to be completely in space. It's going to have Lobo in it, and Lord knows who else is going to show up. And it's going to have a completely different feel than what Superman did.
Got a feeling Bradley Cooper will be there.
Yeah,
hopefully. We're hoping.
We're going to see Clayface is going to be a horror film. So if he keeps this up, it's going to be interesting. If he does want Wonder Woman to be in 2027, that means the script must be in a really good place right now, because you're going to have to film next year in order to make it 2027. That's still kind of close for special effects. So you're going to be wanting to almost have movement on Wonder Woman by the end of this year, where we find out possibly director, actor, and getting ready in pre-production. I would imagine if they wanted to make a good timeline for 2027.
Also, it's good that they haven't announced a Superman sequel yet, because I know people will bring up but they announced sequels for movies earlier when they were doing well box office wise in the first opening weeks. Keep in mind, how many of those sequels did we get though? Because some people brought up 2 examples. They announced a Man of Steel sequel. Well, we never got a Man of Steel sequel. We got a Batman vs Superman movie. We never got a sequel to Man of Steel. We never got a Man of Steel 2 specifically. Matt Reeves' Batman movie. They announced a sequel for that, like God knows how long. How many years ago? 3 years ago. That's not even close coming out soon.
The pressure of the Penguin, man. Once it was that good and it completely made the first one that much better, now you got the pressure. But I got a good feeling about it from where they kind of left off with that show. I think you're going to get something awesome with the Batman, and I'm actually excited for it now. So I don't know. I think what Gunn is doing here is something kind of smart. It's something that the MCU should really think about. They don't need every film to be a billion-dollar film. They're not expecting everyone to just like knock it out of the park. They do have this, like right now it's estimated at $40 million for Clayface. That could be amazing. Like they've got these smaller ones that can really flesh out the world and then can show you some of these characters from a side that you haven't seen before. Man, I'm really excited for some of that small stuff.
Me too. Like plus two, let's say Clayface is one of those good horror films because there's a horror market and it makes like $350 million altogether, and it only costs $40 million to make with, let's say, like, another $60 million for marketing. You're talking. I mean, that's going to be making more money than Superman, technically.
Yeah, technically, Clayface could be more profitable as a movie venture than Superman. I never thought I would ever say in my entire life. Holy shit. But I cannot wait to get to that Supergirl movie. That's my most hyped movie for next year, is that Supergirl movie, because I can't wait to have her in space doing some nasty, freaky shit in that movie. That's a Tom King-led book, so whoo! Can't wait to have her just doing all kinds of stuff out there. Man, she was wasted drunk at the end of this first movie, just looking like she just got through sucking some hot cock in space. So who knows, honestly? But
I think you're going to be.
Is that what you do when you're drunk? So, is that the only way you relate to people being intoxicated, MSK?
I think you're doing crack, right? So for me, I think it boils down to, I'm just being honest, because I told people that I'm like this. From the numbers that I see right now for Superman, it's not looking like it's going to be a profitable success for the company. It's not. From the point of view that I'm looking at it from. Could that change in the next few weeks? Sure. It could straight up shoot up, week in and week out. This movie's not leaving theaters for quite some time. I would imagine it's going to be in theaters until at least the end of August. So a digital release, physical release won't be around until like maybe early September, early October, honestly, But if they want to just gain momentum with each movie, that's their prerogative. I mean, that's what they want. But that doesn't mean the movie's a successful, profitable venture for the studio. But if their notion is like, hey, just has to do this well for us and we're good with that, fucking hell. Drink whatever line of coke you ever want to do with yourself in your life. But Grey Poupée, any final thoughts you want to say? Hot, sexy, master?
I guess. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of excited finally for where this franchise could be going. Fair enough. It might not have hit everyone's expectations. I know they did kind of reassess the expectations. I think originally it was like 130 to 150 or something like that. Then they reassessed it back down, but it hit that reassessed target. I don't think by any means this can be seen as a flop, and they got one more weekend that I think they're really going to prove themselves on. But aside from that, a lot of Warner's stuff has had legs this year and a little bit more time in the theaters, both Sinners and again a Minecraft movie. So I don't know. I think there's a huge possibility that this thing is just starting, and they're definitely going to make their money back. But there's other superhero movies coming out and other releases as well. Like I guess Naked Gun franchise is trying to come back in August. So we'll see. There's a bunch of random releases after this, so they really only have like the one more weekend. So we'll see. But yeah, I think this is kind of an awesome launch for the franchise. And yeah, I'm surprised. I thought maybe I had superhero fatigue, but man, this is kind of showing me the magic that they had again.
Right.
So that can be there with a comic book movie. And it was kind of awesome to see. I wasn't expecting that from all the press that I'd heard ahead of time.
Lunchbox Warren, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think I'm excited. Like much to mirror with what Gray said, I'm excited
That's
for what
never
to
good.
see. There's going to be a balancing act that's ahead, but I really like what James Gunn is preaching, and I really like the way things are turning out. I thought Superman was very well written and did a really good job handling its story, even though it did drag at a couple points and did have that weird choice. None of that really took away how the film overall. As for its budget, um, I think I definitely don't consider it a flop. I think it's going to make its budget back over next weekend if everything goes the way it's looking projection wise. So then I can see it ending around that 700 million mark.
Oh
And
God, you guys are
I
too optimistic. I love
well,
you.
I could see it ending there. I could see it doing that. But even though it's a lot about too, if you're looking at Warner Brothers as a studio, there's a lot of positive momentum. There's a lot of positive reaction from both critics and from fans. Now, yes, there are the voices, there are the Twitterverse, but if you get away from that, there's a lot of people saying good things about this. So if you have that kind of hype where there's a lot of people going like, "Oh yeah, I like this," and kind of like to see where this is going, I think that could make up for a little bit for not hitting $1 billion along those lines. But we'll see in the future on how things go and if they keep this enthusiasm up or find if it is hurting them financially. I don't think it is because we also talk about overall Warner Brothers Discovery now has an energized IP, and they have a lot of people who are motivated behind this IP. So that could lead into a lot of good ventures. Like it's going to help momentum with Supergirl, and it's going to bring momentum. If that's good, then there's going to be momentum going into the other stuff. People are going to start getting hyped for Wonder Woman and start getting hyped. But this could all go south too at any moment because you need multiple films to build off of. And
also, there's the notion that this film's the money that it makes only just impacts what it makes, not the other ones. That could be just very differently, you know?
yeah. Like, so I don't know how much Supergirl costs to make, and I don't know how well it's going to do. But what if Supergirl could end up doing more building off the hype of this film that this film did? This could just end up being the first film. Like the first Captain America film didn't do nearly as good as the second one did financially. So it all depends on having good momentum is good. Like it's opposite of what Marvel has. Marvel's looking at, okay, we made a movie that people liked and they still didn't go see it. So that's a problem. DC's looking at like we made a movie that may not have the legs that we wanted it to have, but people liked it. We're hearing good things. So we're more confident now if we're going to release this next thing and this momentum could keep building. Marvel's looking at like, well, shit, Thunderbolts didn't give us the kick in the ass we needed. We really, really hope that Fantastic Four gives us that kick. And as the newest trailers and TV spots, I have to say I'm more positive about it than I was before. But another big problem that Fantastic Four has is that it's carrying the weight of the entire company on its shoulders right now. And Superman was doing the same thing. And yeah, it didn't do, it's going to be hard for it to get to that 700 million, especially if Fantastic Four does good. Like it could, you could have a massive drop. What if next weekend no one goes to go watch it? Now, and some of the reports I've been seeing on Twitter, who knows if those are accurate, if they could be people just hyping up projections. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll have to see as it goes along how this whole universe goes. But I have high hopes for it because I like Gunn. I like Superman. I'm interested in Supergirl. Clayface sounds interesting. I'm going to watch Peacemaker on in August when it comes out. I'm really hyped for that. So yeah, I'm all down. I'm starting to become a DC simp right now because I'm loving all this shit. Creature Commandos.
What
I
we should
loved
do,
it.
one of these Fridays coming up, we should read and review All Star Superman, which is what the movie is supposed to be based on, which this is fucking complete bullshit lie. So for me, several things apply here. So for any average person that doesn't know how movie, math works, this film would need to make at least $700 million to break even from the budget and the marketing combined. Then you got to factor in theaters have to take their cut. So it's looking like it's not going to do that. What I think the movie's going to end up panning out to be toward the end of its run is somewhere near $500 million, which would be a box office disappointment. But then again, I enjoyed the movie. So you got to just, it's the same thing with BVS. I always said, you might like the movie, but did it really do well? Not really, but those two are different things. You must analyze for yourself. You can enjoy the movie, but did it make money? Probably not. But we'll have to see how it pans out in a few weeks. Wonder Woman movie getting fast-tracked. That means eventually at some point we'll start hearing rumors of director, actresses, and who's going to be in the front running to portray Wonder Woman. Actually, we have essentially, what else we have for Superman? The DC itself needs to never reboot again, because they reboot again, no one's going to have any faith. I think the numbers you're seeing right now are a product of DC's constant reboots, and people just lose faith in your company more and more if you keep doing that. Also, Man of Steel came out in a time period where superhero movies were really, really, really gradually gaining more and more people. So that movie doing well is more of a product of its time than it came out, rather than the actual quality reflected in that movie itself. You gotta seriously tell me that movie was better than this one? I wouldn't really say so. That movie fucking stinks, honestly. So, yep, that's pretty much all I can say for right now. Next time I go out to another DCU movie, probably gonna take my wife out and, blow her back out before we see the movie and after the movie. Gray Poupe can attest to that, right?
I know that you usually take your wife and her boyfriend to the theater, right? Is that what you're talking about? Sorry, I kind of stopped listening for a minute.
Yep. So, yeah, hopefully the future of this DCU is bright because everything is connected. Hopefully they start a comic book line. That would be pretty cool, actually, to kind of, fill in the gaps there for when you don't have any movies or TV shows coming out. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully we get a Superman 2 eventually if this movie does well enough that they feel like it's worth the investment to keep making more of these. Because I do think David Corenswet and Rachel Brosnahan have something there for Lois Lane and Superman. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Viking, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace. Wow. Who are you guys in the chat talking to? Bastards.
MSK, we're just bringing up your long storied history with mac and cheese and why you hate it and why you have an L take on that.
MCU retail merchandising sales up to 2020 were $43 billion or more. Yeah, I remember that. Toy license. Yeah, so this I remember, but I don't think this, keep in mind, these are like intrinsic things. These things kind of balance off one another. When the MCU was doing well, the toy sales were up. But that still never impacted the movie's box office. Like the movies essentially sold these toys, right? DC, I don't know how much money they're gonna make with this Superman movie selling toys, and also that still has no impact on the box office. Actually, nothing at all.
No, it helps overall with, like, if you own the IP of DC, how much
you make a lot of money from
how much is Superman going to help out with the different facets of the business?
Also, you have physical media release. You want to use that?
Yeah. So when it releases on physical media, digital media, how many people are going to buy it there? And also, too, if you're a CEO of Warner Brothers, you're looking at, okay, it is bringing positivity. So now are we going to see kids buying shirts? Are we going to see kids buying clothes or toys? Now that may not affect movie box office, but that does help out overall.
Yeah, he's talking about like a trickle effect. Like if this works, then these other things start working too. No, that is a good thing. That is very.
It's still going to be an issue at Warner Brothers where it's like, you spent $350 million and it clears, let's say, like your prediction, $550. That which then yeah, we want those. We want to see that get better with these future films, but because that's not great, but we are seeing returns over here in other areas, so that might be part of it. Plus, two, Warner Brothers is not going to come out and be all like, "Oh, well, that sucked." Like, I'm glad you guys liked it, but we were really expecting
I'm glad you
700
guys liked it, but
million.
now we must close doors. Business
Because
is
part
done.
of it's about enthusiasm. Enthusiasm lifts up stock market. Stock market
Yeah, it's
lifts
true.
up value, which makes the CEOs and the board members happy. So that was one reason why the article mentioned the stock market is because enthusiasm helps build that stock value up because people are like, okay, I see good things in the future for Warner Brothers and DC. So, which could happen. Let's say everything goes good and these movies start progressively doing better, and then that Harry Potter series comes out, and that does good for. I think Warner Brothers owns Harry Potter. Is that
Right.
Universal?
Then the Harry Potter toys start
Yeah, I mean, you're
making
talking
some money.
about some good positive movement on some IPs, which will be really good
Yeah,
for
for
them
me,
overall.
what I typically line up for merchandising is how lucrative are toy sales now, to the point where the movies can have that level of trickle effect, because Star Wars doesn't have that anymore. The Star Wars licensing
Yeah,
deal was very lucrative back in the day, and it's not been, because Star Wars, see, toy sales predicate only if your franchise is doing well. That's how
yeah.
toy sales
Congrats on
typically
using
work.
predicate.
Good lord. Oh god, he thinks I'm retarded. Ah,
It's about the overall IP strength. Like we mentioned on that other podcast where the
oh,
the,
that
the
rich
toy
hot guys
sales
podcast like me. Oh,
the toy sales don't. I don't know earlier when we were talking with Labs, like
oh yeah,
toy
yeah. I remember.
sales don't connect with the box office because we were talking about how there's poor
Different
box
divisions.
office in
Yeah,
Marvel,
yeah. Mhm.
but the lack of enthusiasm for the IP does affect everyone else. So like
Mhm.
if everyone thinks Star Wars sucks, now you don't have people coming in to buy the figurines and the
And we've seen
toys,
those
the
Star
shirts.
Wars toys at your Walmart, right? At your Walmarts and Targets. Have you seen those Star Wars toys sell? No, I've seen the same ones at my Walmart for years. Literally, I'm not
Well,
kidding. Straight up the same ones.
yeah, you start seeing the values. Like now, I do estate sales, so I know the value. We have sometimes collections of Star Wars toys, and there's what they kind of there's these locked in
Mhm.
toys where it's like it doesn't matter how strong the IP is doing; these are always going to be worth money
True.
because of the
Yeah.
rarity and what they are. Like the
There's yeah.
Marvel Comics first Star Wars issue barely lost any value, while other comics were just plummeting in value after kind of the bubble burst from the plague.
Yeah, there's always going to
So
be items that are evergreen and that just don't drop
yeah,
in value, whatever. Oh, good night, Michael.
good
Have a
night,
good night,
Michael.
man. Make sure you dream about me in your sleep, because I
But
know a
yeah,
lot of
that's
people do
something
that.
that concerns them overall is like, how much IP strength this has, and they might not be happy internally, but they might be like, well, this is a positive launching pad though. So, and it could end up being leading to
Like, you're always
billion
seeing like the
dollar
bigger
Justice
picture.
League.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we have a 10-year plan, and our first movie is a decent little start for that. I mean, it didn't lose money, because it's going to make at least make us 350. So it's not like it's going to lose money.
Mhm.
But at the same time, though, it needs to that 700 million needs to get to that success point. So it could be like, well, it wasn't a success, but we feel really good about how the way this stuff is going. So if there's that positive movement to it, but we'll see more in the future too, because how will Supergirl do? Because that's one thing I was concerned with James Gunn is how much of his fingerprints on stuff, because not everyone likes James Gunn's style. He has a kind of polarizing style sometimes. Like not everyone liked Guardians of the Galaxy. I think this was probably one of his best films, if not arguably Guardians 3. But this one was just
You
really
know, it's
well
crazy.
done.
Is
But
this one better than Suicide Squad? I don't. Suicide Squad was really good.
I think so.
It's hard to say, man.
Yeah.
God, Peacemaker also was good. Like, man, James Gunn, you have to give me all your salary. If you give me all your salary, then I'll be happy. See, that's where we get James. Also, he has a really hot wife. Honestly, I mean, James, I almost caught myself in a lie there.
Well, I saw some other streamers do this, and this might be fun. What do you guys think of if you put this Superman movie into the Marvel movies in a ranking? Where would this rank among Marvel movies? The new Superman.
I would
That's a good
still have.
question.
I would still have the first Iron Man over it. That's just me.
Yeah.
Avengers, the Captain America second and third movie. Is it better than
I
First
think it might
Avenger?
be.
Probably.
I think I'd have Guardians 1 above it as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No Way
it
Home
definitely beats
probably
out like
above
all
it.
the Thorses for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Definitely
not
beats
sure
out
if
the
it
Hulk
beats
one.
out that first Avengers. That first Avengers was
Really good, yeah.
there was that was just such a beautiful little done movie. It was flawed, but it was just beautiful at the same time with the whole camera pan and all the
Does
beautiful
this beat
scenes.
Ant-Man? The first
I
Ant-Man
think
movie
this.
is
I think this
solid.
beats Ant-Man.
Okay.
Even though Ant-Man was good, I think it does. It doesn't beat Winter Soldier for me.
Oh, no way, yeah.
No.
Way.
Yeah.
I think Civil War as well.
What about Black Panther for
above
you
it.
guys? Does it beat Black Panther?
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
I think it does. I think I would want to see this one again where I feel good on my relationship with Black Panther. I don't need to revisit it for right now.
I don't need to visit at all. I'm good. I only saw it one time and I was like, oh, this is all right. What other MC movie are we forgetting? No Way Home. I think it's they can be about tied with that one probably. Deadpool Wolverine.
I don't really consider that one an MCU one. It's kind of like the love letter to the Fox one. If so, I think I'd put it above this one, but I think I'd rather see this one. This one has rewatch value. Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine story is pretty.
It doesn't have that much rewatch value. It's more like fast forwarding to the cool action parts, and then
But they were cool action parts.
But this was more of a complete story, and even though that it did have some pacing issues, but it was much more of a complete story than what Deadpool Wolverine was.
Damn, I'm trying to think of what other MC movie is out there. I mean, are you going to put this over Infinity War?
No, I think I'd put Infinity War over this, but Endgame, yes. I think this is better than Endgame for me.
I can agree with that. Infinity War, though, that was
okay.
Chef Kiss.
This is better than Age of Ultron. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron. Jeez.
Not better. Well, no, it's not better than Spider-Man 2. Like the Raimi Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought because you just said MCU.
Oh well, yeah, we're talking MCU. Yeah.
Oh no, still Spider-Man 2 will be over this. Yes, this can't.
Because technically, No Way Home made that canon now. So.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. We're gonna do that topic. I think next week. We're talking about Brand New Day because we did. So much DC stuff this past couple of weeks. I did not forget about Brand New Day. There's a lot to cover there with that one. Good stream, boys. You guys carried Mac flawlessly.
We know what he means. It's just sometimes hard to say MSK, but we appreciate it.
This is what they did with Matt Reeves, the Batman movie. They released this like 4 collected edition box set that I really like that they did. This one's coming out called the Superman Legacy box set. It includes just make it a little bit bigger, like my wife likes it. It includes All-Star Superman, Superman for All Seasons, Whatever Happens to the Man of Tomorrow, which has one of the best Superman comics ever written by Alan Moore. Shit is so good. You guys remember the episode Justice League animated series or JLA Unlimited where Mongol came on Superman's birthday and he infected him with that parasite? Oh my god. Made me cum some buckets. So good for the man who has everything. Shit was just cum buckets worthy of storytelling there. Then you have Kingdom Come.
Some Superman.
Then you have Kingdom Come. So I would always get these. I think it's low overpriced. I would wait till the price drops. Obviously, it's not going to be that much money. Go on eBay, you get it for cheaper. These are always cool to have.
Buy them all individually.
Or yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
less than that.
Good lord, Lloyd, what's up, buddy? That's actually a really good point. Never thought about No Way Home, but you can. It did technically do that. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, technically, Deadpool made the Fox universe or some form of it canon. So but. It's also kind of like they can do whatever they want because it is a multiverse now. So.
Yeah, because it's counted as an MCU movie. It's counted as the 34th one.
You could even go Marvel's also kind of canonized Fox X-Men universe. I know it's just a after whatever a post-credit
Oh,
scene, but still,
how are we
Fox has been
ranking
canonized
this?
a couple times.
How
Yeah.
are we gonna rank this movie in the against the past DCEU movies? I think this would be like easily top 5. We're looking at it.
Whoa. Well, oh, the Snyder era.
The
Movies?
previous cinematic universe they had.
Let me think here.
So I have
I mean, Wonder Woman's good.
I
I
have
like
Shazam, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, and then I have Aquaman in there, and that's because there wasn't that many good movies in that past universe. I think Superman would probably end up being like top 2 minimum, top 3 at least.
I have a hard time with Superman and Suicide Squad because I want to say Superman's better, but Suicide Squad is such a good movie too.
That's so good too, yeah.
But I put it above Aquaman.
Oh, for
Aquaman
sure, yeah.
was just fun. The Superman was more thoughtful.
But you're forgetting about The Flash. I mean,
yeah, we're talking about good movies here, Gray.
I thought that was just self-explanatory. Like,
yeah, I think for me, I don't know. I think this beats out everything except for the Suicide Squad.
Probably has to at this point, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would enjoy seeing this again over Wonder Woman, but
yeah.
I liked Wonder Woman, so I don't know.
The first Wonder Woman was great, but it didn't stick the landing. If it would stuck the landing, there's a really good argument. Aquaman was just kind of like a roller coaster ride. It wasn't one of those ones you want to go on over and over and over again. And then, of course, the problems with Man of Steel and with BVS. So, Flash, that one was a train wreck. Blue Beetle, I never got to see that one, so I can't say anything good or bad about that.
I forgot about that one. Apparently, it's getting continued also sometime in the future.
Apparently, yeah, he's in Gunn's universe, so that might not be an old DCEU movie then. Apparently, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work.
Yeah, this would have to beat on mostly everything in the DCU.
But yeah, I don't see, aside from James Gunn's Suicide Squad,
right? Yeah,
is like the only thing that I would think that would be better than James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah, if you make the argument that is better than this movie, I could agree with you, because that movie definitely plays into how crazy Suicide Squad can be. Yeah, Blue Beetle, I gave up on the franchise after The Flash. I was done. I couldn't take it anymore. I threw in the towel. I was done. Would you have this over the first Todd Phillips Joker movie?
If we're gonna get into Elseworlds,
me, I didn't. Yeah, kind of like The Batman. We're also not including that one.
I would have this over the Batman. If you're asking me, I would have this.
I would have this over the Batman. I think I'd have the Joker just under it, but Joker too, man. For me, I really liked that. It was like the second best musical of last year. So, yeah, for me, that might beat out Superman, but I understand I am in a very, very rarefied air with that one. I'm out on a limb.
Is this better than Green Lantern, though?
Yes, in every possible way.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for the Lanterns. I think that show could be awesome.
We have the Dark Knight Rises.
I don't think this is like. I think Batman Begins is a better first movie.
Yeah.
Than James Gunn's Superman. But because
we're talking,
I absolutely hated Joker 2. Like almost walked out of the theater.
I get it, but you're wrong. But I get it.
I had a date
it's fine. Everyone
I had a date that night. That's why I had to stay. I was with a girl that night.
No matter how wrong
your story doesn't check
I still
out.
respect your right to have the opinions.
Oh, I love how he's made all these gymnastics to justify you can have the opinion. Oh my god. For me, so like first movies, so we have Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Batman Begins, 1978 Superman, Batman 89. Growing up, just first movies to start things off too. So
what about Batman Forever?
That doesn't start anything. That starts the plane of trash.
It started your love affair.
Well, like
the first X-Men movie, the first Fox X-Men movie started that off.
Like the first Batman movie, the Keaton one, didn't understand Batman as well as James Gunn understood Superman. in a lot of ways.
It felt like a Tim Burton Batman movie than an
It was-
actual Batman movie.
Yeah, it was Tim Burton's version of the cartoon, essentially, in a lot of ways. Keaton did a good job portraying the whole Batman Bruce Wayne dynamic, in my opinion. But they didn't. It felt a little bit off on some stuff when you go back to past watching it, especially when you see like
I know
Batman
what you mean,
Begins
yeah.
and Nolan's trilogy, which was a lot better of a Batman representation. And the Batman has its pros too, and it's even made better with the Penguin. So it's that was which is weird because like with the Batman, it's like, is it better than the Superman? I wouldn't have said that before the Penguin, but after I watched the Penguin, now I'm like, well, this universe is really cracking right now, so I'm kind of really getting to go. Like, it'll be interesting because I guess Preacher or Peacekeeper ties right into Superman, so it might be one of those things, a Penguin effect too, where it's like Peacekeeper makes Superman even a better movie at some level, which would be kind of weird.
Walter, what? You're a Joker 2 lover? Oh my goodness.
Walter gets it. It makes sense.
Are you saying Walter's a man of taste?
Yeah, we're rarefied in this space, but glad to know that you're one of the good ones, Walter.
I mean,
the first crack in the foundation between me and Gray has been discovered today.
Yeah, it's crazy on Twitter when you find out someone disagrees with a movie opinion. You're like, I must never speak to you ever again.
He does look a little different now.
Yeah, he looks like ketchup now. Damn it, Gray. Damn it, Gray. Fucking hell, dude. No, but there's there's so much more movie stuff to talk about than just DC. It's just this was the main thing that came out today, and I was like, you know what? We'll just go over it honestly. But yeah, I have to wrap it up here in a little bit because I have to get to bed to go to work because as you guys know, I work Thursdays now. My days off are Mondays and Tuesdays. And we'll start with Gray Poupée. What do you have planned coming up that you would like to let the audience know about?
Yeah, it's the summer of Gray, which means I'm making content now. You'll see it eventually. I'm trying to bank up a little bit on the back end so that I can make it more consistent. So new content soon. But if you just can't get enough of me here, check out YouTube at williscredia.com. Every Monday-ish, Sunday-ish, he has a show business show where we break down a little bit more of the numbers on the box office side, and we're hoping to expand and get more guests on there. Hopefully, someone like MSK in the future, somebody very divisive. But other than that, the Thinkers usually every Thursday. For some reason, we streamed this morning instead of tomorrow night. So we've already had the Thinkers this week. So that's kind of it for me now. But I know Charles from Willis Greedia might be having some sort of fundraiser stream in the near future. So go over to his channel, subscribe, ring the bell. There might be a surprise stream in the next few days that apparently is a very long, torturous one where we might go through a bunch of Neil Breen movies, which if you know anything about that, it is straight up torture. So I'm looking forward to it. But that's all I got going on. What about you, Lunchbox Warren? When's the next draw stream?
Well, there'll be this Sunday. I'll be episode 8, where I'll still be working on pages of issue 4 and just talking comics. But tomorrow, I'm going to be on Laps's channel sometime tomorrow. We haven't quite figured out a time yet. And then on Friday, I'm going to be back here with MSK, where we'll bring on Comics Dad, and we're going to talk more about comic book stuff and movies and how awesome Superman is and how much Man of Steel sucked. And then on Sunday will be the draw stream. So it's gonna be just keep an eye out. Follow me or follow Laps and make sure you guys are following MSK if you're watching this. Gray, all of us, we got good stuff going on.
It's crazy. I did not give you guys permission to collab, you and Laps.
I didn't remember asking.
But it's kind of awesome. It's like they've trimmed the fat, and it's just the amazing part of the stream. Like, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be the best stream ever. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah,
I'm not streaming tomorrow night. I'm definitely watching that.
And why would theirs be the best stream ever, Gray? I thought mine were the quality ones you look forward to.
No, it's dealing with quality people on your show. That's what I look forward to. And it's nothing but quality over there. So that
Damn.
sounds pretty awesome.
We lost Gray.
I'd go over to Lapsed and ring the bell.
You guys are insane. I can't believe you guys would do this to me. I can't believe it. You guys would cheat on me with Lapsed Comic Fan.
But dude,
insane.
All killer, no filler.
God damn. What am I gonna do with you people? So, for me personally, I'm gonna be having sex with a lot of women. Joking side. Okay, so tomorrow, all I have scheduled is just the Cloud9 podcast with me and Mr. Blanks around 7-8 p.m. PST. After that, the Friday show with me and Lunchbox Warren, our featured guest should be Comics Dad, pending if something might happen with him. Because as I always say with featured guests, things are subject to change until the show actually happens. So, we should have Comics Dad on the Friday show to go over comic book stuff. And Saturday, an episode of the Cloud9 podcast should happen. I'm waiting on Chaz's reply. And I have a one-on-one set too. So just in case that Cloud9 podcast episode doesn't happen, then I obviously have the show with another person that I met through Rumble. We're going to have a one-on-one Sunday. If all things pan out the way I think they're going to happen, me and Professor Savage Dad should have our show re-begin back up this Sunday. So yeah, I am pretty much packed all week. I have to get videos done for you guys. So episodes of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater is done for Superman. I have to finish editing the one for Jurassic World Rebirth. So I have a lot of content coming for you guys. Just, when you see it, obviously remember to just watch it. I don't even care if you like it. Watch it. Give me all your money. So, yep. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show, and we're going to see you guys later. You guys have a great rest